Tonight, I find out that Tiffany, new boyfriend, the young man admitted just yesterday, last night, it's now 2:15 in the morning, but admitted to me shortly before 12 o'clock on yesterday, the 15th of February 2013, that he was dating my ex-wife. They pulled up to the apartment and I, doing a little investigation, just simply went over to say goodnight to the children. And that's when I found out and discovered she was having a young man who she's dating sleep over, spend the night, came from Elutra. My little children, my little girl in my hand, lifting my little girl in my hand, talking to my little girl. My little girl decided to call him Godfather. So I said, oh, this is the Godfather that my daughter was telling me about. Now, so this new Godfather, so I asked him, when since did he become Godfather to my children? So he said he was Godfather ever since they got christened. So I said, well, how come you are their Godfather and I don't know you, I never met you? And well, the young man, he could not explain. So the bottom line is, the question for me is early this morning, Tiffany, how long did you know Mr. Brown? The young man said his name is Brown. Can't remember the first name, from Elutra. Now, August 30th, you through with Nanel, your witness, in the truck with you and my two little girls. Not too long came from Bimini. In fact, on that very same day, they came from Bimini. You throw the divorce naysay down on the ground in front of the apartment. My question to you is, that when you threw that divorce naysay document down, that I confirmed was a divorce naysay, it was August 30th. My question for you, which is basically like 4 months after the date of the divorce naysay, that was stamped April 10th, 2012. Now, from April 10, 2012, I had 3 months to show cause why the divorce should go through or should not go through. You held on that document for 4 months, okay? For 4 months. It is now February 16th in the morning. Just yet, on February 15th of the night, yesterday night, your young man, young friend, your date, who you were bringing, I left the young man's suitcase into the house. 2 suitcases. July 10th coming would have made us 14 years married. The young man, I found out, was also married. He got his divorce in 2003. Now the question is, he was married for 8 years. Or he got married in 2003. I'm not quite clear which one, but that's not neither here nor there. The question is, all I know, 6 months to this month represents since you would have given me or thrown down the divorce, and they say that you would have had for at least 4 months prior. Either which way, it's like 10 months we would have been divorced. And I'm saying to you, in all the years I knew you, and even before I got married to you, I never slept in no apartment that you had, or in your room, whether in your room, whether it's morning, noon, or night, never even to rest. But you said to me on the 3rd of February in a text message that you have found someone, and it's a blessing that you could even consider marrying a person like that after all what you would have been through. And earlier you would have said that you only got married to me because you were trying to get out of a bad situation. Now, the young man that you're dating this morning, who was in your apartment this morning, the question for you all, and for you, ma'am, later on today, Um, what a Christian young lady like you doing inviting a man after a young man who you claim you could consider marrying into your apartment with two suitcases? Would your parents approve of that? You know, this is the nonsense I was putting up with, and these are the shenanigans. So on, I want to also take this time and this moment to also show he has two daughters, he has two children with a young lady. So what situation are you doing now? You're getting coming out of this also bad situation that you claim was so bad that I have done everything in my power to ask you for mercy, for forgiveness, for a chance, to just to do what is right, just to prove to you that I can do what is right by you. And this is how you repay after all those years I put in with you. This is how you repaid me. You don't get your job. You're making a lot of money. You have your relationship with your colleagues at your job, one of which you lied to me for months. That's a relationship that even if I'm wrong, I apologize. But if I'm right, even if you marry 10 other persons, they will never know what you're doing in the office. You lied to me about the young man, but I say that. But I'd like to take this moment to say, if I was wrong, and if I'm wrong for accusing that young man for a relationship he did not have with you, I humbly ask that brother to please forgive me. And any negative and nasty thing I would have said or done, or any pain. But you, Tiffany, you were the cause. You wanted to get out of this situation, out of the marriage, because I confessed on national radio I was molested by a male. However, also because in the marriage, I, Amos Jr. Miller, was not faithful to you in the marriage. All of that is grounds for you to move on. That is not the issue that is before that I take. I do not take issue with those reasons. I take issue with the fact that when you were ready to leave, how you pulled me down. When I was at my weakest, how you pulled me down. How you left me in in the cold when I needed you. When Bishop Neil Ellis fired you, the first job you ever had, and then you got your second job with Treasure Cove Development, and Treasure Cove fired you. Both of those times, I was there for you. Huh? I was there for you. The very same brother who you only married, okay, because you wanted to get out of the bad situation. You have three children, and all I asked, all of those times, you made numerous calls to the police about me creating a problem when there was no problem, really. And there would have been a problem because I was making noise, but I was making noise because I was humbly asking you, humbly submitting myself to you, trying to accept the fact that you moved on. But could you now let's discuss about Joshua? And after all of those time to now, you have never, and as of this morning, sat with me like I would have asked you just yesterday, for time, or the day before for time, for us to, see eye to eye so we can deal with Joshua. So to see Mr. Brown entering your apartment with two suitcases, and my children calling him Godfather, I thank God I had the opportunity to say to the young man, one, I care about you. I said that to him in front of his face with your door open. I care about you a lot. And if he do not care about you, and, and this was after I asked him if he was married, and he said yes. Okay? For 8 years, two daughters, two children, one 10 years old, one 4 years old. It is egregious, Tiffany, that yesterday was Valentine's Day. The day before that was your little Amaya's birthday. Now the question is, because Soma is the one who's really saying Godfather. My thing is, he could have only been Godfather either for Soma or Amaya. He couldn't have been Godfather for Joshua, even if you knew him at that time. The bottom line is, which of my children, Tiffany, would you say to the Honorable Justice Evans, this young man is the Godfather for, in the presence of Bishop Ellis? Because I am the father of all three of those children, and I have never met a young man before in my life. And this is what I'm saying. Keep it real, because if you're lying, you start lying in a new relationship, you will always be a liar. And that relationship is doomed from the beginning. Now, I love Tiffany enough to do the things that I thought was necessary to prove to her and to this nation and to this world that love is sacred. And the love of a woman and the love of a man, when it comes from the opposite sex, supposed to be sacred. And that is the bottom line. I mean, Tiffany Patricia role, no harm. Her relationship with Mr. Brown, no harm. I only, like I said to Mr. Brown, care about the safety of Tiffany and the safety of the children. At this point in time, we're no longer husband and wife, so it's not my job or duty to have to care about Tiffany to a certain extent like I would have cared about her as a husband. However, she is the mother of my children, and I then care about her welfare, because the children welfare depends on her welfare. And so I just say to everyone, I'm sorry if I have offended any one of the family. I love Tiffany enough to try to do the things that I thought was the right things to do in restoring trust and honesty. And so I thank everyone for the opportunity for listening. Thanks.